Have you ever felt?
It's the Rob's Rant Show.
With your host, Rob Bell.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
January 21st, 2017, the day after Trump is sworn in as the President of the United States. Let's talk about that when I come back. This is Rob Bell, and this is Rob's Rant. Well, Saturday, January 21st, 2017, and it's the day after Donald Trump has been sworn in as the President of the United States. And prior to that, all last week, I was on social media with some political satire, and I made some comments about where we will be in this presidency of Trump as African Americans. And I thought some of it was kind of funny. And, the reason why I did is because I'm so serious and political all the time about a lot of these issues. I decided to, take a little different direction and be a little sarcastic about how we will fare as African Americans. Well, some people took offense to it. Some people didn't really think it was funny. And I got a lot of responses from that. Had I probably done a video on some of the things that I talked about, probably would have gotten a lot of views. And what kind of rubbed me the wrong way about it, although I don't mind getting comments, either positive or negative, about anything that I put on social media, because people are free to comment any way they please. I don't have an issue with that. But again, what kind of rubbed me the wrong way about it is the fact that over the last year or so, I have been very serious about a lot of the social ills and issues that have plagued the African American community. I've spoken up on police brutality. I've spoken up on how the government has not responded from a federal government, state, and local government perspective, how they have not responded to our issues in the African American community. I've talked about the poor housing that we have to experience in the African American community. I've talked about the poor education that our children receive. I talk about the fact that we don't get equal rights. I've talked about drugs, the black community in general, how we need to take responsibility for the things that we need to do for ourselves. I've talked about that. I've talked about the seriousness of the guns and the violence and the crime in our community. I've talked about domestic violence. It's a host of issues that I've talked about. I have over 90 videos with all of those things that I've just mentioned. And the thing that bothers me the most is when I go back and look at those videos respectively, I get maybe 10, 12, at best 20 views on each one of those videos, which says to me that people don't care about that. People don't care about those issues that I try to bring up and educate the community about because they're not funny. They're not black people fighting on videos. They're not, the quote unquote love and hip hop type reality videos that I'm posting. They have the nerve to be serious. They have the nerve to be relevant and educational. And nobody really cares about that. So when I posted my last post and said, what's kind of funny is that all these people are now talking about protesting the inauguration by not watching it on TV. I said, what is that all about? Because a large majority of y'all didn't even watch the inauguration of President Barack Obama twice. And so now all of a sudden you want to become politically astute and you want to boycott and not watch Trump's inauguration. Well, people got up in arms about that. No, Mr. Bell, I was there. I didn't watch it on TV. I was there with my children. And no, I watched it on TV with a whole host of my friends. And I know everybody that watched the President Obama inauguration. It was historical. And we were certainly there for that. And you know what? That may be all well and good because most of the people that I converse with are politically astute and intellectual and stay on top of their political game. But a large majority of us out here could care less about what goes on in government. And you guys know that. We tend to want to talk about the circles that we travel in and speak up in a positive way about, who we hang with and the folks that we hang with and what they do and all that. And that's all well and good because it's correct. But and I know that when you look at the African American community from a broader perspective, most of us don't even watch the news. Read a newspaper, read a book, know, what's going on with the Senate and Congress in Washington and the day-to-day operations of any American president. Most of us don't even know, nor do we care, because it doesn't affect us immediately. It doesn't affect us personally. It doesn't affect us in our living rooms and in our kitchens and most importantly, in our pocket. And so we don't care about that. And so now all of a sudden, when we get this Trump guy in office, we want to all of a sudden become politically astute. We want to all of a sudden, pretend that we care about politics. Why? Because we got Trump in office. And if it took that to get us politically aware or make us politically aware or get us politically astute, then that's good. Because we need to get on our game. But, one of the other things I said is that in 2 weeks, you don't even hear from us anymore. We'll go back to the same things that we've done before this whole inauguration process began. Why? Because we bandwagon jumpers. We like to jump on the bandwagon when things are popular. We like to jump on the bandwagon when other people say, this is what I'm doing. It sounds good. It looks good. And so I want to be a part of that. So we jump on that bandwagon. And when all the fizzle and the sizzle and the hoopla is over, we go right back to what we've been doing in the first place. So that's what kind of disturbs me about that whole situation regarding me posting political satire versus seriousness on social media. I've urged people to go to my channel 906 TV on YouTube, and watch the Rob's Rant shows, because the Rob's Rant shows are just not about Rob ranting. The Rob's Rant shows is about, and they are about, educating the African American community about the social ills and things that are hurting us and how we need to start standing up and doing something about it. But nobody wanted to listen to Rob and his rant. It took a guy like Donald Trump to get into the office of the president for people to say, oh my God, it's time for us to wake up. Damn it, it's been time for you to wake up. I tried to tell you this a year and a half ago. But now, you want to get on me because I want to be a little funny about some of the things that I've said about Trump being in the highest office of the land. And I'm going to close with this. I am a news junkie. I am a political junkie. I'm a person that stays on top of my game regarding what's going on with this country because I know that at the end of the day, it has a profound effect on my community, the African American community. And so I stay on top of it. And so as I watch CNN this morning and I see all these women's marches around the country, in particular in Washington, Baltimore, D.C., Chicago, Philadelphia, and I see these huge crowds of women wearing pink out to say that they are not in favor of Donald Trump being the president of the United States. And they're not just marching for women, they're marching for all of us. And I applaud that. It's a wonderful thing. But where are the black folks in droves? Did you plan to do a march after the inauguration to demand some of the things that we have to have happen in our community? Did you plan any marches for that? Obviously not, because I don't see you out there. If a white cop kills a black man, Black Lives Matter is going to be out there. If that happens, there may be a riot in any particular American city. You come out for things like that, but on the eve, or should I say post inauguration of Trump for president and all the negative things that you have to say about him and feel about him, no Black Lives Matter marches, no gathering of millions of black people protesting. None of that is happening today. It might have happened last week with Al Sharpton on one day, and I don't even recall the news giving that a whole lot of press coverage, which is typical because it's us. But today, the women's marches are getting a ton of press coverage. And we should have capitalized on that. Did we? No. Because we are the turn your cheek race. You slap us on one side, we turn our cheek on the other side, you slap us, you say some negative things about us, we get upset, and then we go away. And we don't do a goddamn thing about trying to make any effective change. So don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot me. I'm the messenger. I'm one of the good guys. I'm one of the guys that continually try to educate you to what's happening in our communities and how we can make some effective change in what we need to do. So don't get on me. This is Rob Bell, and I'm Ned, and this is Rod Flint.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.